sure you know that song. It's one of the most famous and well-known folk songs from the British Isles, I think. I learned it in choir or maybe even a piano book when I was really young. And I didn't know much about it except for it says a bunch of herbs all the time: parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. When I look into the history, it's really interesting, actually. I have this book called The Ballad Book of John Jacob Niles, and he traces how songs and poems from the British Isles came over to the Americas, and specifically the Appalachias, and how they transformed in this historical game of telephone that I've talked about before. And so it has its roots in the really old poem, The Elfin Knight, which, as John Jacob Niles described it, is the story of this young woman in maybe medieval times who was dreaming of having a suitor. But then all of a sudden he shows up in her bedroom at night, totally unexpectedly. And as you can imagine, that's a little disconcerting. And so to prove this guy's worth, she sets him a series of stipulations and tasks. And it turns out that by, the end of 15 or 50 verses, however many there are in the Elfin Knight, the guy isn't quite so interested in being her suitor as he seems at the beginning. That transformed into the song Scarborough Fair, which is a riddle song, and it's kind of like a series of impossible tasks for the suitor, whoever wants to be the true love. And so it's a really fun song to teach to my students. My band and I, Wild Blue Yonder, do a version where we've taken some of the lyrics from the Elfin Knight, but I'm just going to sing the traditional ones that I know and that I've taught my students. So are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme. Remember me to one who lives there, that she once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, without no seams or needlework. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Tell her to wash it in yonder dry well, parsley, sage, rosemary, and thyme, which ne'er a drop of water fell. Then she'll be a true love of mine. Were they just describing dry cleaning?